Intel just lost 6% of its market value in a single trading session, and most of the financial media will tell you it was simply about guidance, or competition, or sentiment. That explanation is technically true and practically useless. The real story is about how a company in structural transition gets priced by a market with zero patience, and what that dynamic means for anyone holding semiconductor exposure right now. Here's the question this video answers. Was today's 6% drop a rational response to new information, or did the market just hand patient investors a discount? Let's establish the facts before we editorialize. Intel moved down 6.1% today on volume that ran significantly above its 30-day average. That is not a drift. That is conviction selling. When you see price and volume move together like that, institutions are making a decision, not retail investors reacting to a headline. The primary catalyst appears to be a combination of forward guidance revision and competitive positioning data that the market had not fully priced in. Intel's foundry division, the segment the company has staked its entire turnaround thesis on, continues to show margin pressure that is proving stickier than management previously projected. When you are a company explicitly telling the market, trust the long-term transformation, every quarterly data point that contradicts that narrative gets punished disproportionately. That is the dynamic at play today. Layer on top of that, TSMC released updated capacity utilization figures in August 2026 that signal robust demand from AMD and NVIDIA fabless clients, demand that is not flowing to Intel Foundry services. The market reads that as a relative loss, even if Intel's absolute numbers aren't catastrophic. Here is the actionable insight for this section. A single-day 6% move almost always contains both a real catalyst and an emotional amplification of that catalyst. Your job as an investor is to separate the two. The real catalyst here is margin compression in Foundry plus a visible demand gap versus peers. The emotional amplification is the market pricing in a worst-case trajectory when the actual trajectory is still uncertain. Those are different things, and confusing them is expensive. Now the harder question, was the market right to punish Intel this hard, this fast? Let's think about this structurally. Intel trades at a price-to-book that already reflected significant skepticism before today. The company carries real debt, real capital expenditure commitments tied to its fab build-out strategy, and a competitive moat that has demonstrably narrowed over a 5-year window. When a stock is priced for a turnaround, it does not get the benefit of the doubt. It gets the harshest possible interpretation of every piece of ambiguous data. That is exactly what happened today. Here is where it gets nuanced, and where most beginner analysis breaks down. A stock can be simultaneously overreacting to a single data point and still be correctly valued at its current price. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. If Intel's fair value range, using a discounted cash flow model built on conservative foundry ramp assumptions, puts intrinsic value somewhere between 18 and 28 per share, and today's close lands the stock inside that range, then the 6% drop may be noise within a correctly priced asset. If today's close pushes the stock below the bottom of that range, you have a potential mispricing. If it stays above the top of that range despite the drop, the sell-off did not actually correct much. The point, and this is not financial advice, it is a framework, is that the percentage move tells you about sentiment. The valuation math tells you about opportunity. You need both lenses. Investors who only watch price action make reactive decisions. Investors who only run DCF models miss the fact that the market can stay irrational longer than their models stay relevant. The edge is in holding both simultaneously. One more data point worth noting. Intel has been the subject of speculative acquisition interest discussions in 2026, a factor that creates an asymmetric floor under the stock that pure fundamental analysis sometimes misses. That does not make it a buy, but it changes the risk profile. This section is the one that will actually matter most for your long-term performance, not because it is exciting, but because the mistake it describes destroys more retail portfolios than any market crash. When a stock you own drops 6% in one day, there are exactly 3 rational responses. First, you had a predefined thesis. That thesis has not been invalidated by today's news, and you hold or add based on your original conviction. Second, today's news directly contradicts the core assumption your thesis was built on. and you exit because the bet you made no longer exists. Third, you realize you never had a clear thesis to begin with, which means you were speculating, not investing, and today is the day you build one before making any further decisions. The irrational response, the one that statistically costs people real money, is selling purely because the number is red and large, without being able to articulate which of those three categories you are in. That is fear-based decision-making dressed up as prudence. For Intel specifically, the thesis question is binary. Either you believe the foundry transformation is a viable multi-year story with government support tailwinds, domestic chip demand incentives, and sufficient capital to execute, or you believe the window has closed and capital is better deployed in pure-play foundry winners or fabless semiconductor leaders. Both are defensible views. Neither requires a 6% single-day move to validate. Here is the discipline that separates investors who compound over time from those who don't. Write down your thesis before you buy. 3 sentences. What you believe, why, and what would have to be true to make you wrong. When days like today happen, you pull out that document and you check. Not the stock chart, not Twitter, not the comment section. The document. If your invalidation criteria have been met, exit. If they haven't, ignore the noise. That is not a complicated process. It is just a disciplined one, and discipline in markets is the one edge that does not get arbitraged away. We opened with a question. Was today's 6% drop in Intel a rational repricing or an emotional overreaction? The honest answer is it contains both. And now you have the framework to tell them apart. In real time. The follow-up question worth sitting with. If Intel's foundry thesis does execute over the next 24 months, what does the rest of the semiconductor landscape look like? And who are the unexpected winners? That is the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and drop your Intel thesis in the comments. I read them.